Hello, everybody. There we are again, finally, after a little break. Let's just see if there are actually some people on there. So just give the system a moment. Otherwise, I'll be confused because there is nobody I talk to. There are people I talk to. This is wonderful. Hello. Wonderful having you here. Let's wait for a few more people to turn up and then we will get started. As you have probably detected, things are a little bit in flow, or maybe not in flow, but all over the place. That's probably the word at present. But it's great, wonderful having you here. Thank you for joining today's YouTube show. Live or at a replay, it doesn't matter. Phenomenally, the energy is just so similar. So it's great having you all here. Some people from England, Germany, and yes. So we will see. Yeah, good comment. So not really in flux at the moment, but maybe they are, and we just don't see it. So let's just have a little look at some, I think, quite important questions for many of us, maybe for all of us. There are more people from Los Angeles, from Oxford. That's brilliant. So nice having you all here. I only sent the email to my kind of main mailing list. I just didn't want to completely overload everybody with emails, but it's just so nice to have you all here. So I am in this, well, you can't really see how cluttered it is, which is good. I picked an angle which hopefully looks okay. So that's the place where I'm staying at present, and the place that gave me major headaches last week. But that's the interesting thing. Sometimes we get major headaches, and sometimes it gets so bad. And it gets so bad for prolonged periods that we just want to give up. And it was really interesting when I set the topic for today that I just felt this resonating. And I even got emails back saying, yes, that's exactly how I often felt or how I feel at present. I just really want to give up. And given the everyday kind of struggles we face, we often want to give up. Well, sometimes we may just need a holiday, and sometimes we really want to give up completely. So I was alert to LA. I don't know. So I'm back in LA. I am working on some projects to do with Reiki and potential work on television. And there are some very interesting leads. If you have any, if you feel this sounds like an interesting idea somehow to put the idea of Reiki, the idea of connection, the idea of healing on to television to kind of counterbalance a little bit what else is on television, then do please get in touch. Get me in touch with people you feel it might be a good idea to meet. I was doing some research yesterday, and I was in the evening staying on my laptop and looking at all sorts of kind of offerings on television that I thought would be interesting formats to understand. Well, what can I say? I went to bed very confused. It is pretty weird what is out there on television and what we watch. It's also pretty weird what we watch in our daily lives, what's happening or not happening. We sit, we wait, we are looking for change, and suddenly um, we feel stuck. We work on some ideas for a long time. We do training. We put our everything, our ideas, our heart, everything in there. And yes, so we just think we are basically there, and then something kind of stops. And what do? Well, I start cooking. That's my go-to thing. I just in this little kitchen here, I've just been cooking so much already. This brings me down. Most people don't. Most people watch television, and this is why I was so shocked what I saw on television yesterday. It is just extraordinary what we then take in. It's a little bit like fast food, as opposed to proper cooking. What we are being presented with. But that was just interesting. And I don't really know why I'm going a different route than what I've planned. So let's see, why am I doing that? But let's see. I just feel the guidance. Guidance is there. So I came here to LA to work on a few projects, some leads, and everything was getting slower and slower. And then suddenly I had to move home, and that was unexpected too. And I couldn't really find anything, so I stayed at a little Airbnb place, and then I stayed at the next Airbnb place. And this was such a disaster. I mean, it's acceptable now, but moving in here, the interaction with the landlord, the rudeness, nothing as basically stated on the website, and no instructions. It's just well, I'm not going to use any words that will put me in trouble, but it just was not very helpful. And having been here for a few weeks and having gone through all sorts of developments that I thought would come to fruition, and things didn't work out. I got some rather irritating responses sometimes. And then suddenly you're in this place and you think, okay, this is my place, this is my home, this is like my safety spot for a while. And then you get this outrageous interaction with the landlord. It was a point where I thought, what am I doing now? And I thought, well, either I move out, and I tried, but I couldn't find anything so soon. And then I thought, okay, I cannot stay in this negative energy. I thought, so how do I change that? How do I transform that? And suddenly I thought, well, this is an experience. Ultimately, it's nothing but an experience. So I just sat down for a moment and I mentally connected with this landlord and said, I'm going to forgive you. And I just felt this forgiveness. Literally, I think 10 minutes later, maximum, I got a long message from him apologizing, explaining for the misunderstanding, well, whatever it was, but there was an apology. And the energy had already completely changed and cleared through the act of forgiveness. But then to get this response and realizing, well, yes, on this energetic level, something has happened, was made such a difference. It was absolutely incredible. So it put me a little bit back into the flow. I was still waiting, and I am still waiting, and I'm working on things. But during that time and over these kind of few days where so many things didn't seem to work at all, I thought, well, maybe I just take this as a holiday. Maybe I just go back. Maybe I give up. And I think it was when I started. As you may know, I'm a political scientist by training, so I'm really into politics. And I started reading about politics. There were some interesting developments in American politics going on. I mean, there's a lot going on, but there's one particularly interesting going on first in American history. Last week, I looked at the wars. I looked at the election campaigns. I looked at basically kind of the world and how things are happening. And I find everything very extreme in the United States. So it's a little bit more kind of subdued, quiet, reserved in Europe. So that's really interesting to be kind of so upfront. I around the time I was going out one evening, and I spoke to somebody who wanted to talk about politics, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I said, well, what are your three key ideas about your political views? Why are you having these views? What are kind of the main three things? And he didn't just tell me the main three things, he basically accused me every single time of not understanding them and of being of a different opinion, even though I simply asked. And I didn't say anything. I didn't reveal any allegiance to any political thought school, party, or whatever. It was so interesting. So I realized there was a lot of anger, maybe with my landlord. There was a lot of anger about his life as well. Maybe generally in the world, there was a lot of anger. And I suddenly realized either we give up and the whole world will go downhill and will not come back, at least for a very, very long time. And I don't mean 10 or 20 years, I mean 20 or 20 million years. We either let this world go downhill completely, collapse, make life extinct or almost on this planet, so we don't really have anywhere to reincarnate on short term. And we'll all bring this energy, not just keep it on the planet, but we'll bring it into the spirit world. This is called karma, and we will have created something that we then need to work through. Or we don't give up and we feel there is something we can do. We can forgive. We can even forgive ourselves. And we can make changes. Little changes, one change at a time, whilst we wait for the opportunities for bigger changes. But I'm sorry, who can do that if not us? People who are connected, people who are spiritually connected, who are energetically connected, who know there is more to life than just the three-dimensional experience that we so often limit ourselves to. So there is no way to give up. It is just impossible. There is a mission. And by, well, signing up to Reiki, by feeling this connection, by doing something spiritual, by knowing that we are eternal beings, we have signed up to that. So there is no way out. We may be frustrated, we may want to give up, but we can not. And even if we do give up and say, okay, well, there's nothing I can do anymore. This is not really giving up. This is accepting that we can also get help. And I would almost say, eventually it will turn up. And yet, during these rather frustrating days, so I hope I'm not just bombarding you with my frustration, but I feel it's kind of also reflecting what's going on in the world. I hope that you don't hear the noise outside too much. I don't know whether there's always noise in Hollywood, but there is always noise in Hollywood. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I hope you can still hear me. Even though we may sometimes want to give up, we can also always feel and experience our connection to the universe. And when we then not just feel our connection, but feel that it's not a connection between here and there, but it's something that we are inherently connected to, life kind of changes a little bit and we can feel help. And I've just spoken to a friend. I know that sometimes problems are so overbearing that it is almost impossible to see a way out. But I'm sure there is a way out. And while we wait, we can either wait by hoping for something to come to us, or we can, to a certain degree, rest in this connection that we have with the universe. And there is this simple exercise that I do every single day, often several times a day, that really always brings me back into who I really am. I just, as soon as I do it, I feel connected with Reiki. But uh, you can also connect to Reiki beforehand, and then we can do the exercise. So let's just do that in a, let's just do that together, and I'll show you what it feels like. So if you just want to follow me for a moment and just bring your hands together, or however you connect to Reiki, just take a moment to feel the connection. And you can just bring your hands down and just feel your feet on the floor, sitting cross-legged, however you sit. Feel your body. Feel that you are a physical being and connect with the physical planet, being completely present. And then bring your awareness to your third eye, point between just above your eyebrows, and just open this chakra and just feel your connection to spirit. You are a spiritual being, the point for guidance and intuition. Then bring your awareness to your heart. Just kind of feel your heart and open your heart. Open your heart to everyone, to the whole world, and feel the connection. This is this spiritual being who we are. And now feel, maybe through your crown chakra, your connection to the source of the universe. Feel connected to the creator, God, the universe, the origin, everything there is. And just stay in this awareness for a moment. And then you may just stay in this awareness, or you may just want to thank Reiki and come back into the here and now. But we can do that anywhere. And once we do, is there really a way to give up? To give up on this experience of being in a body and being part of this three-dimensional world that enables us to explore so much, to give up on this spiritual connection, to give up on keeping our heart open, and to give up on who we truly are, connected to the universe. It is impossible. We can put a big blanket over it all, and we can detach from it and not want anything to do with that, but it's still there. So it is impossible to give up. It is impossible to just say that is it. We change energy through such a process, but we are never not connected. And once we feel this connection, I feel things get a little bit easier. And even better, once we feel this connection, we realize how much we can do for other people. And as much as we strive in our lives, we can never be truly happy if people around us are not happy. And I don't just mean the people who are really close to us. The deeper we tap into the collective consciousness, the more we realize that if the whole world is not happy, there's still something missing. Jesus, apparently, there's the story in one of the Gospels, couldn't bear it. He went on a mountain. He had to detach from everything, from all the suffering, and he cried. He couldn't bear it anymore. He felt that every single suffering in the world has an effect on all of us. So every single act of love, of kindness, of sharing, of doing something, of feeling just happy in yourself also has a ripple effect. And we can change so much when we work on this basis. And even in the midst of darkness, of despair, of not wanting to go on, there's these little things. There's a phone call. There is an interaction we have with somebody, whether it's a text message, whether it's just an acknowledgement that they are there, and we say hi. It's just something, a smile, something nice we do, and suddenly we feel more meaning again, and we feel there is a way to carry on. I do really feel that the more people we reach with Reiki, the more we can share this, because it is non-denominational. It's not antagonistic. It can just work with anything and everything to whatever degree and depth we want to take it. But the connection is there from the very first moment. And this is what we're here for. This is why are you watching, why you're listening, why are you taking all these courses, why you want to go deeper and deeper. And thank you. I see some people who have done courses live, quite a few, and online with me also very recently. Thank you. I can also only see the healing woods, not your name. Thank you so much for reaching out. So I'm not sure how I can find you on that name, but if you want to just maybe send me an email and we get in touch, Torsten at thereikirevolution.com. And Kristen, thank you. Lovely seeing you. And it's just, it would be just great to connect, especially while I'm here in the States, and see what comes out of that. For me, last week was really weird. This week is much better. There are new ideas. Maybe this is your difficult week. Maybe it was a few weeks ago. Maybe it's people around you. But giving up is not an option. Giving up delays things, but ultimately, it's not possible to give up. We are spiritual beings. So we can give up whatever we want, but we cannot give up our true self. And our true self will take us back on our path. So the more we align and the more we kind of do anything, some exercise or something just to kind of get us back in the body, give us a little bit of motivation, rest, have a good sleep. I didn't sleep at all 2 nights ago. Last night I slept very well, so I feel so much better. Just whatever it is to kind of sustain us on a physical, mental, emotional level, and then give ourselves Reiki and just live out of this connection. Then we can carry on. And knowing that we do that together, this is just fabulous. And this is why I've been really looking forward to reconnecting, and I will try my utmost to be back every week now. It was just a little bit in there when you're kind of stuck in a little hotel room and don't quite know what the internet is like, then it is a bit difficult to do this weekly show. But now that I have this place and I've made peace with the landlord again, everything is okay. So that's kind of my little rant on the world of what's going on. I somehow feel I shared an experience that so many people have not just been going through here and there, but particularly going through at present. There are so few people who are not majorly frustrated. Giving up is not an option, but turning this round, staying there, waiting, accepting, and knowing things will change, even though they seem improbable or even impossible to change, but they will. Out of the blue, suddenly comes an email. Out of the blue, suddenly you meet something. Out of the blue, suddenly there is an idea. Everything can change. This is the promise of energy theory, and this is what Reiki is doing. Reiki really means change. Change can be unsettling, but change can also be wonderfully promising. And on that basis, this is on how I do Reiki, and this is why we do Reiki together, and why it's so important to have the Reiki shares here as well, so that we sustain ourselves and at the same time share with others, immediately elevating our vibrations, but at the same time getting Reiki through everybody to us. It is such a powerful collective experience. And just looking if there is anything, there's some so lovely contacts, and I know so many. This is just so wonderful. It is actually pretty cool having trained so many people and remembering so many names, and having exchanged emails here and there, seeing you on the show, live events. And this, I'm sure, is going to get more and more. If we build this community, if we build this web further and further and further, eventually people will realize the force of Reiki. And they will just have their first experiences. And you'll just sit next to somebody and they just cut themselves and say, oh, let me give you a tissue, and then you place, and then you ask if you can give them some Reiki, and 5 minutes later, the bleeding has stopped, and there's no pain at all. And they'll look at you and say, oh, what is Reiki? And suddenly we have a basis to go deeper, to talk about meaning, to just give help and connect, which is the basis of being human. So this is basically where I wanted to get. So let's do a wonderful Reiki share. Let's just connect and really deeply feel both the flow of Reiki and the connection with each other, with everybody who is here right now, anywhere in the world on this Reiki share, and anyone who is going to watch this in a replay today or next year. It's just so weird. And I was a bit hesitant first how a Reiki share would actually work over this kind of medium of the internet, but also how it would work for people who watch later. They would just sit there and look at it and not sure what's going on. And the feedback is just incredible. So time and space are there for experience. They're not the ultimate reality. And if that can change, everything can change. Our frustration can transform into happiness and engagement. And I'm very, very certain it will. So I'm just looking at the comment. There's just one comment that someone is hesitant to offer Reiki, probably fear or being judged. It's just this, I would say it's just this one thing. When you give Reiki to somebody once, normally the feedback is amazing. Just do something just very, very kind of gentle, very common. Just if somebody has got a cut, if somebody has got a headache or something like that, just give them some Reiki and see how they feel afterwards. I tend to find that the feedback we are getting is so encouraging that something then completely switches. You just have to do it once, and I'm absolutely sure you are in a good place then. So when you're ready, let's just bring your hands together, or however else you connect to Reiki. Just set your intention to connect to Reiki. And then, once you feel your connection, set your intention that you're now connecting with everyone on this Reiki share. You can just open your hands and feel the connection. If you've learned Reiki 2, if you've learned the connection symbol, distance symbol, however you want to call it, then just take a moment to draw it. Just feel the connection with everyone. Just let Reiki flow. Just relax. Just lean back. Feel that you are receiving Reiki and send Reiki to everybody. I often find sensing inside, just feeling the flow, is so ultimately reassuring. Just allow the help, the healing to happen. There's nothing that we need to do. And then, when you're ready, you can bring your hands together once more. Take a moment to thank Reiki and slowly come back into the here and now, knowing that Reiki will continue working. And I somehow feel that this was very powerful. So whoever was there, those who've left some comments and those who just silently joined, I'm sure this is going to have a really, really powerful effect. So yes, that's amazing. Isn't that fun? One lady, Kathy, just suggested that cats have joined the share, and Deborah just commented that one of the kitties indeed came to lay on the lap. So this is how intuitive we can get with Reiki. It's just extraordinary how it really connects and how it can help. Sometimes it takes some time. Sometimes it takes unbelievable amounts of time. But it is a journey. We are on a journey. The three-dimensional part is only one leg of the journey, but simultaneously, we are all on these other realms. And with Reiki, we can start grasping the concept and we can see the bigger picture because we want so many experiences to happen, but we can also unwant them, which is a very, very powerful act through forgiveness, through acceptance, and through raising our vibrations. And this is what Reiki is helping us to do. So, yes, thank you so, so much. Thank you for your lovely comments. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. I look forward to seeing you again next week. I'm just going to check if there's anything that I have forgotten. But I think, no, that's pretty much the comments. Thank you, Kristen, for saying hi. And please do, yes, get in touch, send me an email. And I am looking forward to seeing you again next week. Let's see what's coming. What I'm getting through is there is like some kind of bigger concept that we'll be talking about, but I'm not to do with environment and nature. That's interesting. Well, that's exciting. Let's see. It's really interesting. Often towards the end of a show, the idea for the next show comes. This sounds like a really fascinating idea. So let's just see how that all goes. Until then, have a wonderful rest of the week and a fabulous weekend ahead. And see you again next week. And I just have to, as I always do, somehow find the right button to press. And then there we go. Bye bye.